Hello everyone, welcome to my chemistry channel B.L.DASH short and sweet in chemistry. Now I am going to explain the chapter carbon and its compound for class 10th, which is according to CBSE syllabus. Now the topic is ethanol and ethanoic acid. What are the main characteristics of ethanol? What are the physical properties of ethanol? And what are the chemical properties of ethanol? But in higher class you will read more physical properties, more chemical properties, and also lastly uses. So here I am going to start physical properties. What are the physical properties? Actually ethanol, which is a liquid form, in generally commonly it is liquid form, it is colorless liquid at normal temperature, and freezing point is 156 K and 156 K, and boiling point 350 K. K mean Kelvin, 156 the K, that is for freezing point. And here soluble in water because it is a good solvent, also in medicine, and as a tincture of iodine, cough syrup, tonics, that means here different type of as a main solvent for the medicinal ground. Cough syrup, cough syrup always contain alcohol. Similar tincture of iodine, which is used outside for pose wound, and tonic what you are taking inside the mouth, that all are containing alcohol. And also it is soluble in water in other cases, so it is very important, and it is called alcohol. Generally if I say alcohol, one can sure that it is ethyl alcohol, that is ethanol. In alcoholic drink also it is used. Generally drinking alcohol means generally you can sure that ethyl alcohol is there. Next, alcoholic drink as beer, rum, whiskey, brandy, all the different names are there where ethyl alcohol is used. And what is very dangerous to methyl alcohol? Methyl alcohol never be used as a drinking purpose. I will tell in later in uses. Dilute alcohol, if you take dilute alcohol, also it is working in the body. If you take small quantity of pure alcohol, that is called absolute alcohol, that will also becomes drunkenness. That means here you can sure that dilute alcohol or pure alcohol, that becomes body becomes lethal. Lethal means laziness and drowsiness and there's consciousness. The conscious will be evaporated. You can't recognize one body. You can't say what you are saying. You are saying one thing, you are talking one thing, and you are thinking one thing, and all are negative work. What was inside the brain, that will come out spontaneously. That means dilute alcohol you take or pure alcohol you take, that will act on your body and becomes lethal, and also drowsiness, and also loses consciousness and become drunky. And now chemical properties. What are the chemical very useful in chemical properties? That is with sodium. Sodium, it is a metal, very soft metal. It can cut by knife also. I told in which chapter, chemical reaction chapter. And ethyl alcohol react with sodium. Suppose ethyl alcohol you take in a test tube, and here you will add sodium piece, a small piece which is very soft, and outer side it becomes oxide. Only you keep in kerosene. So you take from the kerosene and add to the ethyl alcohol. What happens? Hydrogen gas evolves, like sound. Sound is produced and hydrogen gas evolves. It also catch fire. If you shown to the match here, it will catch fire. Now other product is sodium ethoxide, which can't be visible. It is inside this solution, that is called sodium ethoxide. Again see, with sodium metal it will give sodium ethoxide and hydrogen gas, that is sodium ethoxide plus hydrogen. Now we will see other properties, just like with sulfuric acid and others we will see now. Now we will see the reaction of ethanol with hot concentrated sulfuric acid. Now this is alcohol, the name is ethanol. With hot concentrated sulfuric acid, it gives ethene. That means alcohol changes to alkene. Alcohol changes to alkene. In higher class also This reaction is very important. Here you will use hot concentrated sulfuric acid. Concentrated sulfuric acid is called a dehydrating agent. Dehydrating means water removal. So concentrated sulfuric acid a dehydrating agent and removes water from ethanol. If there is excess of alkali part here, that water is taken out. This is very important reaction. Then come the uses. The alcohol uses is so important one cannot imagine. Rectified spirit. You know in hospital also you will get rectified spirit, and before injection, after injection also. So many times in hospital is used. Antiseptic for wounds. Then what is rectified spirit? 95% alcohol, 5% water. Solvent for pains and cough syrup. I told before also, it is always used in paint also and cough syrup, which is useful to watch. Fuel for internal combustion of engine, that is called power alcohol. Nowadays power alcohol is very much used, and this is internal combustion of engine, it is used as a power alcohol. Preparation of dyes, cosmetics, transparent soap. Dyes very important. Cosmetics, then transparent soap is also used. Alcoholic beverage means drinking purpose, that though it is not for good health, but generally it is used as beverage. Lab reagent, chemistry lab also used as a reagent, good reagent. And as an antifreeze in radiators. Antifreeze, you know what is mean antifreeze? Freezing, just negative, antifreeze. That means where you will not require freezing. At the time where in the radiators of automobiles where freezing takes place, which area immediately freezing takes place, and now it is used to remove the ice, to remove or to do the and as an antifreeze, not freezing will be done. Freezing will not be done. And here in the radiators of automobiles, in automobile parts, radiator is there. In radiator, no ice should be deposited. Now this alcohol is used to make antifreeze. And next I will see what are the harmful effects of alcohol. Now next we will see harmful effects of alcohol. Before that, you know what are the uses of alcohol, and now we will see what are the harmful effects of alcohol. Actually alcohol is only very much harmful to human body. Actually see here, it tends to slow metabolic process. In body our metabolic process is very important for digestion, for growth. But if it is slow, then what happens to body? Well, now and depress central nervous system. Central nervous system and our brain where it is present, if it is depressed, then how much one will be affected? He can't recognize, he can't say something which is correct also. He can't eat properly, he can't sleep properly. This is the main depression of central nervous system. Lack of coordination. The lack of coordination, he cannot coordinate with one matter to other. He cannot recognize also. Mental confusion will come whether it is correct or not. He unnecessarily scolding to anybody also because he cannot coordinate. And drowsy, feeling always drowsy, just like he is getting sleepy. And stupor, and now in a way he is talking that is useless. He can scold to anybody, he can show his anger to anybody without any reason. Lose sense of judgment. He can't judge also whether it is correct or not, something is doing is good or not. He cannot praise something if he is doing good. He may scold to anybody whether he is doing good or good, and that is the best also. Lose sense of judgment. Muscular coordination. The muscles are very tight and muscles are very loose, and muscular that is coordination impairing takes place, not working properly muscles. Methanol, then come to ethanol. Now see here, if ethanol you can take regularly, this is happening. The lack of coordination, lack of sensitivity, lack of mental confusion arises, some depression of central nervous system. He is unnecessarily scolding to anybody at any time and becomes stopper also. And methanol, what happened? Methanol is very dangerous. It cannot use for drinking purpose. But ethanol, compared to methanol is it is not too much costly, because methanol only industrially used, but ethanol used for both industrial, drinking purpose, and so many uses are also there. and that is why methanol, what happened, if you take in small amounts for once also, it causes death. That's sure. That methanol is so much a poison. If you add it to ethanol, one can die. Then what is the reaction? Methanol oxidizes to methanol. What is the formula? HCHO, methanol, which reacts in liver, forms methanol in liver and reacts with cell. Different components of cell, it will react, damage the different type of cell, and gradually affect the optic nervous system and affect the heart, liver, kidney, all these cells, components of cell. So one can one can die easily. Methanol oxidized to methanol, which is very very dangerous to health, and react immediately to different components of the cell, and that means it destroys that area. Suppose it attacks to liver, and liver cell components that will damage. So it is very dangerous, it is very harmful to body, because one can die easily with taking a small quantity of methanol. Now this one, methanol also affect optic nerve, eye nerve system. Immediately after taking methanol, first it may first attack to the nerve system of eye, because immediately one can become blind, one can become so nervousness, and lastly with the want of water, one can die when he becomes blind, and when one can die when central nervous system damage, liver cells of components damage, components of cell damage. Methanol in ethanol. Then why you are using methanol? Methanol used in industry also, and methanol used to add in ethanol, because ethanol one can easily drink, and one can use properly in industry, in paint, in medicine purpose. Almost all uses are there in ethanol. So how to make unfit for ethanol? But remember, one cannot use methanol in ethanol for the purpose of medicine become poison. Only industry purpose one can add methanol to ethanol to make unfit for drink. But anyhow, the man cannot understand. After using alcohol, he can't sure whether I will take alcohol, methanol, then what happened to me. He forget all things. Sometimes so many papers also you may read that some people that die due to methanol, or certainly in common language, the poison due to poison of alcohol. But as a chemistry student, one should know due to poison of alcohol means methanol in ethanol. But remember, methanol in ethanol never be used in as medicine purpose. Only simply pure ethanol is used in medicine purpose. Then methanol dye also used. Suppose methanol is not available, dye blue color also used to add in our ethanol to make unfit for drinking purpose, and these are called denature of alcohol, because a natural alcohol damage. Natural alcohol is not here. Denature, nature is removed, natural point, natural activity, natural property are removed. That is why denature of alcohol, which means here methanol is added to make unfit, or dye, generally blue color dye is added to make unfit that alcohol. So remember, alcohol taking is very very dangerous. One day it is not habit, but after 1 year it may habit. You can't control, one cannot control, and one can die due to only this alcohol, poison alcohol, or one can die due to all the nervous system and all the properties, all the body cells are damaged. So please make awareness of alcohol and tell to others to avoid alcohol. Then only the man can deprive of alcohol. Generally, knowledge should be required for alcohol taking. What do we mean by alcohol? What do we mean denature of alcohol? Why becomes it poisonous? One should know, and that is why it is very important if the knowledge is given to 10th class students due to only they can tell to anybody relatives that don't take alcohol. Please don't take alcohol. Don't make habit of alcohol. Next we will see what we mean by ethanoic acid. Now next compound is that is acetic acid, IUPAC name ethanoic acid, formula is CH3COOH. It is also called acetic acid and carboxylic acid. It is a one type of carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid means the acid, organic acid which contain COOH group. 5 to 8% solution of acetic acid in water, that is called vinegar. Generally in cooking purpose vinegar is used, and preservative purpose also preservative pickles and so many food materials are there where vinegar is used. And now pure ethanoic acid, when it is cool, it freezes where melting point is 290 Kelvin. See, melting point 290 Kelvin means it becomes to solid and glacial like crystal. The glacial is what where it is crystal form white crystal type. So it is freezes and form glacial crystal like crystal, and 100% acidic acid melting by that crystal. 100% acidic acid, how can you get? Melting of this glacial like crystal. Glacial like crystal, how can you form? Pure ethanoic acid when cooled, it forms glacial acetic glacial like crystal, glacial acetic acid. And now sorry, it is not glacial acetic acid, simply glacial like crystal structure. And 100% acetic acid, how can you get? When you melt glacial crystal. When you melt glacial crystal, then you will get that is glacial acetic acid. What you are using in laboratory, that is glacial acetic acid. And boils at 391 Kelvin. Miscible with water. It is miscible with water and blue litmus to red, because since it is acid, organic acid, that is why blue paper, blue litmus paper, it changes to red. That means it proves that it is acid. A litmus solution or blue litmus paper, when you add it to the acetic acid, it changes to red. That means dilute solution also shows red color. Partially ionized, what is mean partially ionized? That means hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, mineral acid, they are strong acid and they are completely ionized when with added to water. But when you add to water, it is not completely ionized, it is partially ionized. If partially ionized, that is called weak acid. If completely ionized, that is called strong acid. So here it is weak acid. pH of HCl is 2. What is pH? You know, pH means to know the what type of acid, what is the strength of acid. If lower the pH, higher the acid. And pH of HCl is 2, whereas pH of acetic acid is 4. That means acetic acid is weaker acid than HCl. Are you clear? Acetic acid pH, that means it is weaker. 4, it is weaker than HCl because pH is that is 2. So here you can see ethanoic acid, that the main properties, when it is crystal like structure, solid, that is glacial crystal. On heating this one, melting this one, 100% acetic acid form, and that is called glacial acetic acid. And boils at 391 Kelvin, miscible with water, turns blue litmus to red. So it is a weak acid because it is not completely ionized. And here pH of acetic acid is 4 and pH of HCl is 2. Again we will proceed to what are the chemical properties of acetic acid. Chemical properties of ethanoic acid. Ethanoic acid means CH3COOH. Ethanoic acid, the last word is acid, so it should behave as acid. It shows acidic nature. That means how can you prove? Reaction with alkali or base. What is alkali? The base who dissolve in water is called alkali. Reaction with base. How it react with base? Then CH3COH plus NaOH. What is NaOH? Sodium hydroxide. What is the result? The product CH3COONA, and that is salt. CH3COONA. What is common name? Sodium acetate. You should remember acetate that comes from acetic acid. What is IUPAC name? Sodium ethanoate. Ethanoate that comes from ethanoic acid. Now here react with sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate formula Na2CO3. So what is the product? Same product. Here also Ca3CONa, but byproduct, that is carbon dioxide and water. And similarly, if you treat sodium bicarbonate, hydrogen carbonate, what is the name? Hydrogen carbonate, sodium hydrogen carbonate, here also same product, CH3COONa plus carbon dioxide plus water. That means here both case carbon dioxide is the byproduct. How can you say that it is carbon dioxide? That is very important test. Carbon dioxide is identified by passing it through the lime water. What is lime water? You know before also. Lime water means calcium hydroxide, that is in solution form, clear solution. That means calcium hydroxide added to water, and now the upper part solution you decay it, and that is a clear solution, that is called lime water. When you pass carbon dioxide through lime water, the lime water turns milky. Now see, this is calcium carbonate, milky, and calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide gives calcium carbonate and water. Again see, the acidic nature reacts with alkali or base. This is the acetic acid plus sodium hydroxide, it gives salt and water. Sodium carbonate, it gives CH3CONa plus carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide how can identify? By passing carbon dioxide through lime water, which turns milky. Why milky? Due to formation of calcium carbonate, which is white precipitate. Next reaction is esterification. What is the next reaction? Esterification. What is esterification? To form ester. How can you get ester? That is from acid and alcohol. In presence of acid, when acid, alcohol both react, in presence of acid gives ester and water. That means CH3COC5 ester. What is the name? Common name? Ethyl acetate. Because this part is acid part, this part is alcohol part. See, this part is alcohol part, this part is, it is from alcohol and it is from acid. It is from acid. So that is why the ethyl alcohol part, first you name it, ethyl acetate. Ethyl acetate. IUPAC name? Ethyl ethanoic, because ethanoic acid is the IUPAC name. So ethyl ethanoic. Again see, CH3CO series, how can you name it? First the right side, that is ethyl, left side, that is from acid, acetic acid, acetate, and ethanoic acid, ethanoic. This is the IUPAC and common name you remember. In high class you will learn what is the main nomenclature of ester. Ester is very sweet smelling, very sweet smelling and substance, and making perfumes, it is used for making perfume. What perfumes are used? Each one containing that ester, and different type of ester, different types of perfume. And flavoring agent, having good smell, very good smell, that is flavoring agent. And ester, acid or base, when ester react with acid or base, it gives alcohol and carboxylic acid. Remember, when ester react with acid or base, gives alcohol and carboxylic acid. So here it is ethyl acetate by common name, ethyl ethanoate IUPAC name. React with sodium hydroxide gives, what will give? The salt, CH3CONa, because sodium is there. It should give alcohol and acid. But since sodium hydroxide is added, sodium is there, immediately CH3CONa, what is the name I told? Sodium ethanoate IUPAC name, sodium acetate common name. CH3CH2OH, what is IUPAC name? Ethanol. What is common name? Ethyl alcohol. Then CH3COC5 plus water. When you react with water, simply water and acid and heat, then what happens? There is no sodium. That is why it simply gives CH3COH acetic acid or ethanoic acid IUPAC name, common name acetic acid, and this is ethyl alcohol or ethanol IUPAC name. Again see, what is esterification? Alcohol acid react with acid, alcohol with acetic acid, react in presence of acid, mineral acid, sulfuric acid. It gives ethyl acetate common name, ethyl ethanol IP's name, that is ester. And ester are good smelling substance. It is used for making perfume, flavoring agent. Ester react to the acid or base, gives simply alcohol and carboxylic acid. When react to the base, sodium is present. That is why the product is CH3COONA instead of CH3COOH. Similarly, when react with water in presence of acid and heat, only simply alcohol and acid produce, not any sodium, no presence of sodium is there. That is why CH3COOH acetic acid, CH3CH2OH ethanoic acid form. So, CH3COH acetic acid, CH3CH2OH ethanol produce, that is alcohol, this is acid. I hope it is clear. In this chapter, I told about ethanol and ethanoic acid. How can you prepare? What are the main physical properties, chemical properties? It is clear. I hope you will subscribe my channel B.L.DASH Short and Sweet in Chemistry. And also you will like and share my channel. And please like and share my channel. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks again to all.